I'm going to come out hot. This is my worst least favorite.
You're out of your mind. I disagree so vehemently. Worst least favorite. I'm
gonna flip this table.
It's so
I'm gonna
easy.
destroy all the equipment here. The podcast is over. This is the last episode.
Welcome to Every Album Ever with Mike and Alex. My name is Michael Mansour, and I'm joined, as always, by my stylish co-host, Alexander Volts. Say hello.
I'm like Danny McBride in Pineapple Express, so we're fucking kimonos now.
Yes, he evidently does. This is Every Album Ever, the podcast where we listen to every single album in the world, one artist at a time. That's usually a whole new discography per episode, except for episodes like this one, where we break it up into multiple parts. And today, what are we discussing?
Oh, I'm real excited. We're finally going to be covering Siouxsie and the Banshees.
Part 1 from 1978 to 1982. Siouxsie and the Banshees only has 11 albums. We could have done it one full episode, but it would have been 4 hours long, and we're tired. We just did Fetus. And also, this is the winner of one of our polls.
Yes,
on Patreon.
Yes, I just feel better doing it in two episodes. It's more comprehensive.
Also, when it's the poll winners for, if you go on Patreon, you can vote on polls to decide which artists we cover next. Among the other things, there's plenty of things there. Good, it's fun. Go there. But those ones, those are typically bands that we want to do, that our fans want us to do, that it's all fun, it's all love. Mm-hmm. And for those, I feel like, okay, like I can split them up, just have fun with it. I don't want to get burned out and exhausted with fun bands.
Yes.
And Siouxsie lost 2 polls in a row. I don't remember.
It's been years in the making.
I don't remember which ones ended up winning. They were already made into episodes, whichever ones they were. Can might have been one of them. So first time she lost to Bad Brains. Check out the episode on Bad Brains. And then she lost to Ween. Check out the episode on Ween. And then this time she dominated.
Yes.
She absolutely dominated the last poll, because I guess it was time. Mm-hmm. And I was excited because I've in all my years of listening to punk and listening to post-punk and even ambiently listening to goth without even realize I was listening to goth, I never got around to Siouxsie.
Yes. Siouxsie and the Banshees was a band I kind of haphazardly got into, because when I was getting into vinyl, used stuff was actually affordable. Believe it or not.
Once upon a time,
it was affordable, and for whatever reason, was probably not anymore, but depending on where you go. Anyway, Siouxsie had a lot of used shit that was easy to get my hands on. It was affordable to get my hands on. I heard Spellbound in a inline skate video.
Oh,
and I was like, that's unlike anything I was familiar with at the time. And yeah, by having affordable vinyls and like getting into that and just kind of wanting to have something to touch and not break the bank. That's why I'm a Siouxsie and the Banshee, on top of amazing music.
So how many albums of hers have you heard, or theirs?
I feel like I've heard like the good ones. I've heard most the things here except for one album. Mm-hmm. And then when we get to part 2, there's a good amount I haven't heard. Just because it's not streaming, and mm-hmm. I think I was just like, I don't know if I want to listen to that reunion stuff.
Yeah, fair enough. So not only did I have absolutely no idea you already were a fan, that changes everything, because despite my supposed expertise on punk, I don't know shit about Siouxsie. I don't know. Aside from one obvious one, I don't know about how the world feels about most of the rest.
You know, it dawned on me while listening to these albums, I really don't know much about like the history or personality of the band. And like, it's just these albums I thought were cool and I've listened to, really like almost like pure experience.
Yeah.
Knowing very little about the band. And I think I never even really, until like a few years ago, like thought oh, this is a punk band, because they have so many different elements that they kind of just work in. And through this podcast, we've covered Joy Division and Bauhaus and maybe some other gothy things I can't think of. I've been here forever. It's like The Shining.
We have a whole post-punk playlist on YouTube. Check that out. There's a million things there. It's good stuff.
I never left. But I've always been
You've
here.
always been here.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I didn't realize, like, Siouxsie laid down the groundwork.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize.
Early.
I always thought, like, The Cure and Joy Division were their peers. No, they're like influences to The Cure and Joy Division.
That's one thing that I had to remind myself when listening to some of the stuff, because retrospectively, it's like, oh, it's just post-punk. Mm-hmm. It didn't exist yet. It was still pre-punk when this was made. Mm-hmm. It was first album came out 78.
Yeah.
Like 78, punk is barely punk in 78, and Siouxsie's already making post-punk. So it's like it's pretty fucking crazy. So we don't know too much of the history here, but vocalist Siouxsie Sioux, also known as Susan Janet Ballion, but no one knows her as that. Siouxsie Sioux formed with Steven Severin. They met at a Roxy Music concert in 75. And the fact that they're a band is already fucking ridiculous, because they played like a last minute set at a festival that was put together by Malcolm McLaren. Check out the Sex Pistols episode, because fucking holy shit, that guy rules and he sucks. I mean, holy crap. So she and Severin threw together a lineup with Sid Vicious on drums, Michael Perroni on guitar, and played a 20-minute improvisation set based on the Lord's Prayer, which is we eventually get like a recorded version of it, but they played a nothing gig with members grabbed at the last second, playing what I imagine to be horse shit for 20 minutes, and then didn't plan to do anything else. But somehow they got members. They got who did they get? Who were the first main lineup? Kenny Morrison and Peter Fenton. Peter Fenton didn't last very long. John McKay took his place and then started writing a lot with them. So the first album is basically John McKay's album, with some contributions from the rest. But yeah, I mean, that's basically it. We do have some notes from our history guy, Tom Osman, who should all go check out and follow. He pulled a lot, mostly reviews of the albums at the time, which they're just going to piss me off, honestly, because
that's the new,
God, I fucking hate critics. I really do. So we got some assholes writing nonsense about these wonderful albums, but Siouxsie's first appearance was on that Sex Pistols interview where the Bill Grundy interview. That's where it was.
Okay.
Where Steve Jones called him a dirty fucker. That's what it was. That's what it was. Tom notes here. He says, Siouxsie Sioux was one of the members of the Sex Pistols entourage at the infamous Bill Grundy interview where Steve Jones called him a dirty fucker. In fact, if I remember correctly, that outburst came after Grundy made some clumsy pass at Sue. And you can see on the YouTube video there, she is on the right, looking like Eminem / A Clockwork Orange, fucking Alex.
That's a better description.
Yeah, she got the stupid eye thing and the funny clothes, but what a lovely group of kids there with their swastika armbands and their leather boots.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up this interview.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen parts of it over the years, but I never sat down. I'm surprised I didn't sit down and watch it for the Sex Pistols episode. I am lazy apparently, but
I didn't know it existed.
Yeah, she was part of the little, I guess you can call it an entourage. What do they call them? It was some stupid name that they came up with for all the people that followed. Yeah, they called it the Bromley contingent. Caroline Kuhn, some journalist, called him that. But really what they felt was just no, we like what they're doing with this counterculture thing. We believe in it. We want to be a part of it, blah, 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 blah. But whatever. I don't know too much about all that stuff. I don't even know how the transition into her influencing, or them. I keep saying her, but it's her and Steven, really.
Yeah.
How they invented goth, basically, because that's fucking also huge.
That is, they did so much.
Yeah. And I can't believe I fucking neglected this band for my whole life. It's just,
I feel like it's a band I kind of, like I said, this stumbled into. I guess that's most bands, right? You have these like series of random event. Well, that's this life, really, that leads you to, but it doesn't seem like an aha moment. And then real quick note, another thing that was cool was because I had been listening to them, and then I saw the Volta covered a let me find this song because it's only on the live album. The Volta covered Pulled to Bits, which is on their live album Nocturne, and that song fucking rules. And one time on a little trip to San Diego, I found Nocturne. It looked great. I took it back, and when I opened it, I don't know how legit they are because could this be random? I didn't like autographs.
Oh, holy crap!
Yeah,
holy crap!
Yeah. So I'm too lazy to see if it's like authentic, or I'm just gonna think
just believe.
Yeah. So again, band's this like always has been a happy surprise.
Oh, it's super sick. Like we said at the top, we're going to covering 1978 to 1982. So that's 5 albums today. The first 5, first one 1978, last one 1982. Shocker. And I mean, this band is kind of separated into eras like that. This era is going to be covering two lineups. And it's actually kind of concise because starting at the next album, the lineup changes once again. So it's these 2 lineups for, the same on the first 2 and then the second on the last 3.
Yeah.
And we'll go into details as we get to them. So before we get to the first album, this is a piece that was written in Sounds about Siouxsie and the Banshees from 1977. And Jesus Christ, I want the name of this jackass. This is the quote. Gimme shock treatment. Outrage is the game. Siouxsie and the Banshees is the name.
Dude, these older reviews, they gotta be
fucking dorks. Not since the coming of the Sex Pistols has a band incurred such hatred as Siouxsie and the Banshees. When this lot play a gig, which isn't too often, it's like throwing a party in a graveyard. All right. This person has to be fucking 60 at the time of this writing.
Well, yeah. Also, this sounds complimentary.
A little bit. I mean, given the goth connotation.
Yeah.
I've seen more action in a geriatrics ward. Siouxsie Sioux was once heard to protest as an audience of stuffed prunes, slits its eyes, and waited for the guitars to turn into ME-262s and World War III to erupt from the drum kit. Hey, maybe if it had, they would have got off. I don't know much more if I could. It stinks.
Yeah.
Now I wouldn't waste yours and my time if I didn't think Siouxsie and the Banshees music was red hot. When you've been weaned on the Stooges, Sister Ray, and horses, you don't bust a gut for nothing, no matter how orgasmic the lead singer's looks are.
What?
I believe. I can't speak for today's writers because I don't read reviews of today's stuff, but back then. I couldn't tell if they liked it based on their words alone.
No, it's confusing.
It's the most convoluted horse shit.
Also, my memory's bad. The Stooges covered Sister Ray.
I don't remember that. I don't recall.
Or maybe they're stupid and they think Sister Ray is a Stooges song.
This is written like an old Silent Generation person. I mean, I'm sure they were. I'm sure they were older, but like, has language changed that much where I just don't understand what any of this fucking is supposed to mean?
Oh, it's changed so much. Like, I started watching X-Men 97, which takes place in 1997, and they used the term bestie, and it took me out.
Really? Yeah. Nobody said bestie back then.
Not in 1997. Took me out. So that's just in like my lifetime.
They're ruining nostalgia for us, goddammit.
I like the show though, but
I heard it's good. Yeah. I went back maybe a year or two ago and actually went back to the original X-Men cartoon. It sucks. It's awesome, but it sucks. I mean, after the first maybe season or two, it's dog shit. It's amazing.
I can't speak on that, but I digress.
Yeah. Anyway, let's start the fucking episode, I guess. Yeah. So might as well get into it. Here it is. This is the big one out of the gate, everybody. 1978's The Scream. We skipped the intro, but we are going to talk about the intro after. This is post-punk as fuck.
Yeah.
This is pretty much what I was expecting. But boy, this song fun.
I had listened to this album, but it's one of my more neglected ones.
Yeah. It's crazy. Like, even if you don't take into account how many bands sounded like this years after this, her voice alone it's really obvious how influential this was.
Also,
that style.
I tried to take myself out of the future and try to imagine the world in 1978.
Yeah. I had to do that afterward because on first listen, I was like, this is a cool album. This is one of the albums that would be on rotation during a certain period in my life, in the background, walking to school, playing video games. This would be one of those albums. I just happened to miss it. And I appreciated it like that. It took me going back to it 2 and 3 times to put myself in the like, oh wait, this is way before that. This is actually pioneering.
Despite all that, I don't live in the past. I live in the future, and I'm going to come out hot. This is my worst, least favorite.
You're out of your fucking mind. You're out of your mind. Hold on. I'm delighted because I am completely caught off guard. Yeah. I wasn't in a million years expecting to do that. I disagree so vehemently, but I am still glad that I didn't see that coming. Holy shit. What? Why? It's so good.
It's too samey to me, and maybe because I'll always have that drummer DNA in me, and especially the drums.
Okay,
I can admit there's some cool stuff on here. Yes, but it's just yeah. And then I felt crazy because I was clearly. And then I saw how fucking beloved this album is.
It is beloved.
Perfect scores.
Here's what I'll give you. Okay. I will give you that I don't think it deserves that much love. Okay. But I will not say this is the worst of this era. Holy crap, no.
And then I kind of came around on it. And even when I came around from it, I'm like, no, I still think it's all uphill after this.
I don't think it's all uphill. I think maybe in evolution wise it is, but in songwriting and as a package of an album, I think no. I don't think there's a bad song on this album. I think it's great. And I think this is also a total grower because after the first listen, I was cool with it. I was fine with it. I was just like I told you, this would be when I was 14, this would have been on in the background. This would have been a cool album. I would have liked it a lot. Going back to the second time, it planted this little seed of I kind of want to hear it a third time.
Yeah.
Going to it a third time, I like it more every single time I hear it. I'm liking it a lot more every time I hear it.
It's so funny. I think we both could say we listen to this album the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
But for different reasons.
I kept just wanting to come back to it.
I was I put my time in, and then I was like, am I and I might be crazy. And so I had to keep going back to
wow,
find my feelings about it. And yeah, I'm sorry, world.
Holy crap. I'm not giving it best. I know lots of people probably would. I'm definitely not, because I still don't think it's the best. I mean, I think it's really good, but I still think they get better.
Yeah, I think there's some issues later on.
Definitely.
But I just find even that stuff like way more interesting.
I think if you're not coming, so for me, I have such a strong background with this style that I already have like just a natural fondness for it.
This is the most punk album.
Yeah.
Like after this, nothing sounds punk. There's songs here where you can hear the punk influence.
I think there's a little bit of punkiness on the next album, but nothing quite like Carcass, or what's another one? Nicotine Stain. But even those where I wasn't too big on them at first, like first listen, I'm like, this is just 70s punk. I mean, no surprise there. It's 78, but Carcass, that one I was not expecting to grow on me as much as it did. Now I found myself really liking it. Like I really like her vocal choices on there quite a bit.
That's I mean, it's fine.
It is fine. I can't explain it. I don't even get loving the song.
Yeah.
It just happens to keep growing on me.
Yeah.
But so before I forget about it, the intro, the opening track is Pure, which really does set you up for something crazy and does not really live up to it.
No, I thought that was going to be like a proper song, but it just kind of segues into Jigsaw feeling. Yeah,
it's a slidey bass with these ugly ambient guitar lines, really creepy floating vocals. My lady called it whale music, which I thought was, it is it's really weird, but it's also really interestingly written. Just has bizarre presentation.
Did you show her the Cocktail Twins?
I think she's already knows Cocktail Twins.
That's some whale music.
It kind of is. Check out that episode from a million years ago. But it still has some strong songs. There is some stuff here where I'm curious to hear how you feel about it, because Overground, which has these really great chord changes, but doesn't really do anything else over the course of 4 minutes. How do you feel about that one?
I thought it was like interesting to go with acoustic guitar here. And then I think something else is like when there's a member change, which is like, it's very significant.
Yeah.
But I think this other guitar player and drummer have like very much like ingrained themselves in the band's DNA for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, most of the stuff here was written by at least co-written, but mostly written by John McKay. And Overground is one that's it's entirely his musically anyway. Lyrics written by Severin. Yeah. But I like it. It doesn't really elaborate that much. It does, like you said, does introduce acoustic stuff, which I think is like the first sign of like proto-goth. Goth is being invented right in front of our eyes. It's really subtle, super subtle, but it's still there. How do you feel about the Helter Skelter cover?
I like it. I do like that it's a totally different version, where the original, this comes in hot, stays hot. This one is like you're almost like slowly going insane.
Yeah, it's a transformative cover. I would say it's basically a brand new song, and most of the riffs aren't even the same. It's like it's really completely different. I like it. I think it's a cool cover, and I appreciate it that it's not like my favorite song on the album, but it's still different enough to where I consider it their song.
Yeah, it definitely has their character and their vibes in the song. It's not just oh shit, we need to fill out this album, let's do a cover song. Yeah,
you can kind of obviously you'll register it. You'll register it as being Helter Skelter from the chorus, but even then, it's still a different chorus. Mirage, I like Mirage a lot. You gotta like Mirage.
I'm just okay with it.
Come on, it's inventing goth right before our eyes, dude, or ears. It's got these big pristine acoustic guitars. It's such a super strong chorus on that one. Really nice production. Another one that I just like more and more with each listen. Metal Postcard has a similar vibe to Jigsaw feeling, a little bit more on the deranged side.
I couldn't put my finger on it, but there's something about the bass and drums where I feel like this isn't going to help anybody figure it out. Like, we've covered a band that did like maybe even a cover, or like basically took that bass and drum line and did like something else for it. I was like trying to rack my brain and figure it out. I'm like, I know we've heard this somewhere before.
Metal Postcard?
Yeah.
Really interesting.
Yeah.
Damn it. That's going to fucking itch at me for sure. Also, one thing, one criticism, I'll admit the drumming stinks.
It's all floor tom.
It's
baby.
it's all toms. It's the entire album. And I'm going to go ahead and say the next album is also all toms. This guy only plays the toms.
Look, this is a tom heavy band, but once you change drummers, you're like, that's how you do it.
Yes, 100%. And also, because those who know Siouxsie the Banshees, Budgie becomes the drummer. We all know
that man cracked the code.
But he said about this drummer whose name Kenny Morris. He said about Kenny Morris, he likes to play the toms. Like he
does.
He likes to lean on those toms.
Yeah,
it's all he does.
Yeah.
Every song, and it is annoying. It's fine. It still fits. Like the songs don't feel out of place or wrong, but it is very stripped down. It's very basic. That's the only like performance criticism I think I have. Siouxsie's voice across the board is fun. It's a pioneering a whole style that every punk female singer sounded like this after this. I can't think of a single one that didn't really sound like this.
No, her voice is iconic. Like it's the Siouxsie voice.
Yeah.
Anybody who sings like that is copying her. She did something original, like right out the gate. Yeah,
I'm even thinking about X and stuff, and we took out an episode on X, where I love Exine's voice a lot, but even she was pretty much doing a Siouxsie. Like everyone was doing a Siouxsie.
Yeah,
but it sounds good. I mean, I imagine you're not big on Nicotine Stain because of the just straightforwardness of it.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, I'll say that. I think my favorite song is actually Switch.
Of course.
Yeah.
Switch is unapologetically the best song on the album.
I can't deny that.
Yeah. So I still like Suburban Relapse. I think it's a great main riff, great guitar tones, angry post-punk. I fucking love it. But Switch is where we're shown what is to come. That it is, first of all, it's fucking almost 7 minutes. Bunch of saxes and shit coming around like a minute 20, super deep, really good mixing on that one. It has this like this delayed guitar section that comes after that with these big echoey snares, more of the goth kind of being invented.
Yeah, they kind of what we saw with or heard with Bauhaus. Like there's a section where I'm like, oh, that's like dub reggae.
Oh, interesting. Well, wasn't that far off. I mean,
yeah, because
to make another connection, Budgie came from the Slits, and the Slits was basically reggae.
Okay, that makes sense. Also, it's not like note for note, but listening to the Switch, I was like, fucking Metallica, the fucking Call of Cthulhu.
Oh,
it's so similar to the Switch.
That's interesting. That's interesting. Oh,
I heard it because, like I said, I've neglected this album for a few years, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking similar.
Holy shit. God damn. But yeah, I mean, I think this has aged just like any other straightforward post-punk album, but at the time I can totally see why it was like, wait, what the fuck is this?
Also, I didn't realize it was a bonus track, but Hong Kong Garden.
Oh yeah, that was the first single.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that song.
That's misleading.
Completely.
It's one of my favorite songs.
I went back after listening to most of these albums to listen to it because I realized I didn't listen to it. And then I realized that I had heard it a million fucking times.
Yeah.
I believe, you know what, if I had to guess, it was probably on the No Thanks box set.
Okay.
That's where I heard a lot of old punk for the first time. Great box set. But yeah, it's a good song. It is really not dark at all.
No,
it's kind of a happy song.
It kind of leans into that stereotypical like Chinese riff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one, like the goth elements here are obviously very embryonic, expectedly so. But I think there's something really comfortable about this that takes me back to my youth, and I think they're good songs all the way through. I would not call this a perfect album.
Also, I like you're this coming into everything new. You don't have
nothing, no bias.
Yeah.
And if I was this all the makings for this to be a longtime favorite, for me to be completely biased, for this to be my personal favorite, all those things would be there. Yeah. But because I missed the window, it's just a good album that I really appreciate. But that's it.
Yeah.
And Alex's worst and least favorite.
To me, it's more of like you said, like embryonic. This is like the beginning of something. It's not bad, but I just found myself enjoying everything else more. Fair enough.
This was co-produced by Steve Lillywhite, who we've talked about many times in the past.
Ad nauseum.
Yep, we've got him from The Laws, from Ecstasy, The Smiths. Check out all those episodes.
Fucking legend, bruv.
Oh yeah, but also here's. Oh God, let's just do it. All right, let's just read this review from Enemy by Julie Burchill, a bona fide hack from 1978. Tom says, this extract comes after about 300 words of Burchill entertaining herself with how terribly witty she is. So already my stomach is churning.
Tom's really good at finding these reviewers who they're entertaining themselves. Like we saw it with Fetus.
Tons with Fetus. Yeah. Oh Christ. So here is the quote. Standing alone, the Banshee sound is a self-important threshing machine, thrashing all string instruments down onto the same low level alongside that draggy sub voice as it attempts futile eagle and dove swoops around the mono beat. What the fuck is that? What does any of that mean?
Eagle and dove. Is that some weird Cockney slang I don't know about?
Futile eagle and dove swoops. Duh. This sounds more like a dove swoop to me.
What's all this then?
Their sound is certainly different from the normal guitar, bass, drums, voice consequence, but it's radically stodgy as opposed to the light, fantastic public image trip on their single. Bass thump almost out of earshot felt more as a vibration than heard as a sound. Guitar getting as high and light as it takes to sound as little like a guitar hero as possible. Imagine that great sound, then think of the exact opposite, and you have Siouxsie and the Banshees, loud, heavy, and leveling. The sound of suet pudding.
I listen to this album and I don't know what the fuck she's talking. What the fuck did you just say to me?
Those are sounds, Alex. Don't you recognize those as what sounds are?
I recognize them as sounds, but I feel like you read the lyrics to a Bob Dylan song to me right now.
God, don't insult the man. I mean, I love Bob Dylan, but this fucking sucks.
It is microwave live.
Well, I'm sure Julie Burchill is dead and buried at this point, so who cares? But fun enough. Alex's worst and least favorite. Go ahead and tear him up in the comments if you want. But we have plenty more to talk about.
Yeah.
Hell yes. This is 1979's Join Hands.
Got another intro song track, but this one is
yeah, this one's more of a song. So we're only a year later, and it already sounds a lot darker.
I like the guitar playing better.
Yeah. A little bit more bitter. It's kind of picking up where the last album left off, where Switch left off.
Needs more floor tom.
Need a couple more floor tom, please. More floor tom. I like that reverse delay effect on her vocals there. It's way darker than anything off the last album.
Dude, yeah. More metallic, too.
Yeah. There's a few moments where that guitar tone is insanely metallic. is a great opener. It's short, but it really does set you up. It does feel like it's leading to something bigger.
So yeah, this I hadn't. Maybe I listened to this once and I thought this. Everyone tells me this is the worst.
Really?
I like it quite a bit.
I like it too. I like it a lot.
I was surprised how much I liked it.
In fact, the reason I shouldn't like it is not a problem to me. And I might as well talk about it. Get the elephant out of the room. The Lord's Prayer. We have to get it out of the way. All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Because also I didn't realize that was the closer because we have bonus tracks because streaming and gets things mixed up. But anyway, it's the closer and it is 14 minutes. Yes, of course. And it is 14 minutes of basically dicking around or on the same. It doesn't do a whole lot for 14 minutes. It could have been 7 minutes and been better or just as good.
I feel the same way. Yeah. And it could have been shorter.
But I don't mind it. I'm both listens. I'm like, it's in the background. I'm fine with it. I'm not bothered. I'm still kind of enjoying it. It should piss me off and bother me, but it doesn't.
Oh, when I wrote out Velvet Underground tendencies, I was like, Mike might hate this song.
There is enough there, even though I hate the Velvet Underground. Check out that episode. There's enough there. Also, Siouxsie's vocals are completely fucking nutty on there, and she's doing full on chicken clucks.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It kind of sounds because it's very simple, Tom driven.
Whole album is basically Tom. The same thing, yeah.
Yeah. This sounds like a noisier cut. I think 8 minutes would have been like the sweet spot there.
Yeah.
But what do I know? Yeah. There's the album though. There's this like really awesome, like dark metallic stuff going on.
Yep. They got some sinister saxes all over Regal Zone.
Yeah. And then, we're introduced to the tambourine for the first time, which I feel like is kind of a like leave it to Siouxsie and the Banshees to be a moody band. And I like kind of associate the tambourine with them.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Interesting. It's a great song. Really, really cool main riff, super catchy drums and really strong vocal lines. It's covering, continuing where the last album left off, but with more darkness. The metallic guitar tone is profound on Placebo Effect.
Oh, like I was like, maybe they just got lucky after those first two tracks. And then once Placebo Effect came on, I was like, everybody's crazy. Yeah.
I found no problem with this. It didn't stick with me as much as the first album. I didn't have that weird inclination to keep returning to it. But the only song I don't enjoy on here that lost me on second listen is Icon.
Yeah, which is funny because if you go to the wiki, some review says like Icon's the best track on
So they're all. I'm born to not agree with them. Yeah. That's all it is. I'm not even trying. I didn't read anything before this episode.
Icon it's fine. It's just kind of this minimal guitar thing with vocals,
heartbeat style bass thuds.
It sounds like maybe jets or planes going off, some sort of effect like that.
Also, there's no kick there. So with all of the drums in the whole song, it's still doing the leaning on the floor tom and doing a semi-tribal thing, but there's no kick. So there's no backbone to the song at all.
Yeah, he should have replaced his kick drum with a floor tom.
I'm sure he tried to. And honestly, don't really love that happier sounding riff. The vocals are strong and they kind of help to sell it, but at 5.5 minutes, it lost me.
I think I like the lyrics on Premature Burial more than the execution. It's kind of like a slower, more grinding Pink Floyd Astronomy.
Domini?
Yeah. It has some of those vibes to it, but yeah, I think like how many I don't know if they like came out the gate and they were popular, but how many popular bands were really like singing about zombies at this point?
At this point, not many.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking about punk bands.
There's always punk bands.
But even the Misfits were basically it.
Yeah. But yeah, Siouxsie kind of like transcends punk in a way. And then I was this floored by how much Playground Twist rules.
Well, but back to Premature Burial real quick. That I like that. I find that song to be a little bit more bitter and difficult than some of the other tracks here. So I can see why you're not as big on it. It's not a fan maker, but I think if you're into the style, it's very cool. I dig it. And there's even like some like deep male vocals that accompany Siouxsie around 420, which feels like a very gothy thing. But yeah, Playground Twist. It's almost majestic how it comes in.
I was just like, it's crazy how much better everybody sounds and is on this album. Well, I know people love that, but
yeah, in your opinion,
yeah. But I think even if you love that and you hate this album, like, I don't know. I feel like they're doing some more bold, unique things.
It's a unquestionable step forward.
It's a step forward, yeah.
I don't think it's a better album, but I think it's a step forward. So Playground Twist, it's super theatrical, like the way it's written. Progressions are very theatrical, and it's even got church bells in there, therefore goth. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think Misfits were doing church bells at this point. No, I think it was only Sam Haney did church bells. Now I'm thinking about it, but yeah, it's really fun. It's one of the stronger things on the album. And then if we're talking step forward and being bold, fucking Mother, oh mine papa, holy crap!
Oh, of course, there's a creepy nursery rhyme song in here. You think Siouxsie and the Banshees was going to go their whole career without doing that?
Dude, and it rules. I find those vocals to be beautifully creepy, super floaty. I mean, I think it's legitimately lovely and unsettling.
I will say about her voice too, it's crazy how many bases this covers on like just this album, let alone her whole career. And it just kind of like, I feel spoiled. Like, I feel if there was a singer who kind of maybe held back and then gave a Siouxsie-like performance on one song, everyone would be like, oh my God, like she went so hard. But here she's just like,
it's all over.
Yeah.
There's a lot of range. I mean, and really my favorite performance is On the Lord's Prayer, even though it's a bit exhausting of a song. And looking at these song lengths, it's pretty wild. Like, in an age of short, I mean, where short was prioritized. I mean, it's punk. It's the early days of punk. These are like fucking 5-6 minute songs. Obviously 14 minutes is another level, but this was already kind of setting itself, the band was already setting themselves up to be not even close to, because even the Damned, it took them a long time to go into the gothy direction. They were still pretty accessible for a long time. At least at this year in 79, I think that's Machine Gun Etiquette when that came out, and it was still very accessible. This is already like, yeah, I think it's, I know it may not land the way I think, it doesn't land like this crazy experimental piece, but it's setting the framework for it in there, and it's definitely making the attempt. That's how I feel about it.
For sure. And I think it's even crazier to lose half the band and continue like what most people like the guitar player, most people consider that like a major part of a band's DNA.
Yeah.
And to successfully move forward and like build upon this is pretty crazy.
That's the interesting thing about this album. So the first album, most of the stuff was written by John McKay and then co-written by everyone else. Here, all of the music was written by the band. So while it is a huge loss to, lose half of the band after this album, he was no longer the sole songwriter. It was already transforming into Severin and Siouxsie taking lead. So I think that's probably why it was able to go as smoothly, because it already wasn't his band by this album.
Sure.
So
he doesn't even have his name in the band.
Doesn't exactly. Oh, what is he? One of the Banshees? Cool. For a bonus, I think it was a single. We got Love and Avoid, which is a cool. Yeah,
it's the most like punk song.
Yeah, it's cool. It's very nice. And then it was previously unreleased, but Infantry is just like a trippy delay heavy guitar playing this interesting riff, psychedelic instrumental, very cool.
Yeah, I know it's a bonus track, but I like it as this little closer.
Yep, I like it as well. But yeah, good album. It's a decent step forward from the debut, but still very much the same band. But it won't be in a minute.
Nope.
Hell yes. So you ready?
I'm ready.
Hell yeah. Well, let's see if we got some infuriating reviews first. Oh, look at that. We do. This is from another review from Sounds from Pete Silverton from 1979. Almost inevitably, the album bears the same relation to The Scream as Give 'Em Enough Rope did to The Clash. Check out the episode on The Clash. Where the first album represented the collected efforts of a year's writing, the second had to be written almost to order, and what it loses from not being kicked around the brain cells for a year, it gains in thematic cohesion. In the Banshees case, this means tightening up the fear, loathing, pain, alienation, desperation, and all the jolly things like that, and adding, just as the Clash did on Give 'Em Enough Rope, a healthy dose of military chic. They've got soldiers on the cover and Poppy Day in the first groove.
You know what? That's actually a fair review.
It's fair. And honestly, Give 'Em Enough Rope was my favorite Clash album. So I'm fine with that also. Check out that episode.
But again, you can't tell if this is offensive or positive.
I know these damn Brits. Just fucking decide. But we are on to the next one. John is gone. Kenny is gone. Budgie is in. And I'm forgetting his name. Sorry. This fucking name. John Magooch. John Magook?
I hope it's Gooch. I don't know.
Is it Magooch? How the fuck do you spell John Magooch? I'm sticking with
it's
that.
Funner.
It's funner. Yeah, and they're in. So
this is one of the craziest glow ups in music history, I think.
Indeed. This is 1980s Kaleidoscope.
Also, this album's crazy because Siouxsie and Severin, is that the bass?
Yeah.
They just did the demos, like her and the bass.
Oh, really?
So, like on the bonus stuff, you can just listen to the demos.
Oh, interesting.
And then they bought it and just like, holy shit.
Just to finish it off.
Holy shit, like.
So this is a different band.
Yes, it is.
This is a cool song, though.
I mean, yeah, it's one of the classics.
Yeah. So we still got the Tom stuff, but if you notice,
he's doing different patterns.
He's doing different patterns. He's a better drum. He's using the crash cymbal.
He's got the hi-hat foot going.
Yep.
Yeah. No, I think Budgie and Magooch are... We're gonna get so much shit for that.
Budgie and Magooch, dude.
Like, I know Magooch gets like a lot of love and praise, but I still think he's like an underrated guitar player, and Budgie's an underrated drummer.
And we could also hear the synth textures, and we're going to hear a lot of synth textures on this album.
Yeah, synths and drum machines are in play now.
Oh, they certainly are. Worst least favorite. And it's not even.
I'm gonna flip this fucking table.
It's so
I'm gonna
easy.
destroy all the equipment here. The podcast is over. This is the last fucking episode.
This is such an easy worst. This is so easy.
I thought you were gonna give it to Kiss in the Dreamhouse. You've gone and chose violence.
Yeah. I am not that into this album. This is the only one where I'm actually really sold by the poor pacing of this one.
I consider this like essential listening.
Holy crap, really? I'm saying go ahead and skip this one.
No, if I was like recommending,
holy crap,
I'd be like, listen to something and Kaleidoscope.
Oh, wow. Really? Why? Because I can tell you why not, but why?
I just love it. I like the pacing. I like the vibe of the album. I don't think they'll ever sound like this again.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. A bit of a spoil. I think they cranked out like two classics back to back going forward here.
Well, what I will say, this screams Growing Pains. Because when I hear this, and then I hear the next one, and then I hear the one before this, you hear it's the most different, which either means they have no idea what they're doing or they're trying something completely different.
I see how this could be like on paper viewed as a Growing Pains album. I think Join Hands and sorry again to get a little far, but you've ruined everything. I think A Kiss in the Dreamhouse and Join Hands are like the Growing Pain. I have like no issues with. I get people saying that, but it's fucking delightful.
There are delightful songs, but this one has songs that I find to be straight up snoozers. And here we go, baby. Trophy's the first one.
No.
I was fine with it. On second listen, lost me on second listen.
It reminds me of a Bowie song, the way they like using funk guitars and horns. I like it.
So I appreciate what it does differently. For one, I mean, the drums are different now. I mean, Budgies
they're better.
They're way better. That's like the first moment on the album. I'm like, holy shit, this is a different band now.
Yeah.
Drums really changed the whole feel of everything. So it's almost weird that hi-hats sound out of place within a band because of how much they didn't use them for 2 whole albums. But it's a decent song. I think what tipped me over is I didn't care much for the chorus. And on second listen, it wore me down. Not a fan of that chorus.
You know, I thought I was just going to get shit, but now we're both going to.
It's okay, baby.
Now we're both in trouble.
That's what we do, baby. Yeah. It's okay. What else? I'm going to get all my shitting out the way. Okay. All right. Other stuff that I think completely impedes the pacing of it. Sorry, buddy. Lunar Camel.
Of course. First of all, it's called Lunar. If you think I was going to hate a song called Lunar Camel, you don't know me.
I know you very well, which is why I knew. I had to apologize up front. That those electronic drums, I'm sorry, they do not sound that great.
I like it's like a mellow electronic, like Middle East. It's something like, I don't think I've heard like electronics and Middle Eastern stuff. I'm sure it exists and I'm just ignorant to it. But, you know, for me, I'm like, this is a unique spin on the.
It's fine. This is the thing with a premise, with a concept like that, I would hope for it to go a little harder. This one just sort of hangs out in the back and doesn't do a whole lot. It's fine, but it's just, I find it to be a little bit goofy and not the most interestingly written song. It just sort of kind of coasts.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. It is just it's a vibe song.
It is, and the vibe is forgettable.
It's fucking rad, is what it is.
And the last song that I could safely say I don't care for is Desert Kisses.
Yep, I saw that.
Yeah,
After you assaulted my,
I did assault it.
My beautiful lunar camel like this, I was like, "Fuck, camels hang out in the desert. He's coming. He's coming for the Desert Kisses."
You're not safe, Cat Desert Kisses. I know there's some sitars in there, and I know you're a fan of those, but goddamn, it's like I just don't like the progressions. It's not that I don't like the presentation. I think the presentation is weird and interesting. I think for the most part of this whole album, I like that they're trying this kooky, weird, electronic heavy thing that I wasn't expecting. It's the writing that I feel is lacking. In that one, it's the writing. It's. I wouldn't complain if it wasn't there. I'm not going to say it's a bad song. I wouldn't complain. I would not mind if it wasn't there, but I don't hate it the way I hate songs.
Yeah, despite attempts at psychedelia later on in the episode, I think this is oddly like their most psychedelic album, which is another reason I like it. I like how Christine is just like these bright acoustic guitars, because I have to talk about that.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of sets up Desert Kisses. So yeah, it's like these bright acoustic guitars driving bass. You get introduced to that like iconic fast acoustic guitar strumming.
The English style, yeah.
That we'll see later on. I enjoy the electronics, and then the lyrics are very psychedelic, which kind of sets up Desert Kisses, where like the lyrics were psychedelic on Christine, but here now we have like the guitars and the flanger effects are going crazy.
Yeah.
I love Susie's vocal performance on Desert Kisses. Just a home run for me.
Interesting. I like Christine a lot. It has the big English acoustic guitars. I mean, that's some goth shit right there.
Yeah.
Really nice drum choices too. That would really liven things up. It's a great song, really memorable song. Plenty of other stuff here that I like a lot too. Like Tenant's great. There's like it's not over the top, but there's like a slight 80s sheen on it. I can say that about a lot of songs here.
I think Tenant and Lunar Camel and even Clockface have these like minimal feels to it, and then it's like the electronics are kind of like the window dressing, so to speak.
Yeah, and Clockface, I mean, that one gets in and gets out less than 2 minutes. It's brief, but it's really fun. I like it a lot. Really good drum sound on that one.
Also, I feel like Turbo Negro would make their whole career off of that song. It's very much like a whoa, whoa, whoa.
I don't know them.
You never heard the Wild Boys theme?
Oh, that's them?
I think that's them.
Interesting.
And yeah, something about the way that was performed, I'm like, yeah, fucking unexpected influences all around.
Interesting. What else? Red Light is like the most electronic thing they've done at this point by far.
Hell yeah. It's dark, seedy synth music. This perfect to capture that red light district feel.
I like it. I wouldn't call it anything special, but I think as it goes on, the drums get more and more interesting and it adds more character. It honestly has this album and that song in particular really honestly has more in common with new wave than post-punk at this point, at least texturally.
Yes.
Because these are really early synths. They're really, they're pretty cheesy, the bright keyboard sounds and all that, which, you know, take it or leave it. It's just kind of a taste preference at that point. But Paradise Place has a little tinge of Middle Eastern in the writing, but the performances have new wave written all over it.
Yeah, we're back to like psychedelic stuff there, blending new wave goth stuff.
Yeah.
Really unintentionally blending genres, but at the time,
yeah,
was this them being them?
Yeah, I mean, it's a completely different thing. I mean, we could say that about, again, most songs on here, but Paradise Place, it's very nice stuff. And the drums really, what I like most about this album ends up just being the drums.
Hell yeah.
It's not that he's doing great stuff. It's also produced really nicely. Like it's a great sound on Skin. And he has a real style. He's really tight. He's a great drummer, but he has an actual fucking style.
Yeah. Also, maybe it kind of sounds like there's some like overdubbing, like he's doing these cool snare rolls on there, and then you got like the like quick open hi-hat sound, and it's just really, really nice.
Yeah, I think it's the start of the show for that track. Yeah, I mean, there's more variety than ever, which I appreciate, and the electronic elements lead the charge. And I think mostly it lands. I mean, I don't mind electronic elements at all. Like I said, the only thing I don't like is just the writing choices. I don't find these progressions to be that interesting. I don't find the songs to be that memorable. They're not, even the songs I don't like, I don't say are bad. They don't stick with me. They just don't stick with me.
All right, that's the end of this episode.
It's like an aggressive gothy version of new wave, I'd say, this album. Because it's still quite light. I'd say out of all these albums, it's the lightest.
Yeah, I dig it. Well,
Alex digs it. We angered each other.
Yeah.
You give the first album worse, I gave this one worse. Yeah. All right, that's how we do it. And you can yell at us in your own way too.
I thought Mike was.
Oh, all kinds of left turns here. Yeah. Oh, Steve Jones plays on this album. What does he play on? He plays on Clockface, Skin, and Paradise Place. Oh, cool. Love me some Steve Jones. Here's a review from Melody Maker from 1980 by Paulo Hewitt. It says, as the title implies, Kaleidoscope aims to give the listener exactly that, a kaleidoscope of sound and imagery, new forms and content flashing before our eyes. Undoubtedly, a lot of the album is a success on those terms, but even after about 10 plays, it's still hard to fully grasp Kaleidoscope as a concrete whole. Maybe that's the fault. Maybe that's the beauty.
I got your concrete hole right here, buddy.
That's our response, and that is end of comment. But
the album's not popping up. I'm on Siouxsie's page on Apple Music.
yeah.
They got all these albums.
Yeah. Oh, it's that's stupid. It's skipped. That's so stupid.
Did this album get deleted as we like?
Fucking wait. It's missing off of the page. What the hell?
I tried searching for it.
Really?
Too.
What happened when you search it? What happened?
I think it did. What the fuck? Check your phone.
It's there. It's on mine.
What the fuck?
Okay, so for those who need context, this next album disappeared off Alex's phone. He's searching it on Apple Music, but
I'm connected to internet.
he's searching the full band name, the full album name. It's not coming up. It's not on the band page.
What is this black magic?
So hold the fucking phone here.
Did it disappear off your phone?
No, it's in because I added it to my library.
Yeah.
It's still in the
Oh, when
library.
you search for it.
It's not coming up when I search for it.
Oh,
You found it?
I found a cheat code
How?
because I did have it in my library. This is upsetting.
It's deeply upsetting. They just removed it within a day. I'm
Not
talking
less than
less than a day.
like within hours.
So we have it here, but I don't know how long it's going to be here.
What the fuck?
Dude, this is why you got to buy your media, dude. You got to buy your albums.
Yes.
They can just take it from you within a moment's notice.
Dude.
Holy shit. Maybe it'll be back up by the time this episode comes up, but maybe not.
But what are the odds of one of the most iconic albums ever
To just disappear.
as we're recording?
About to talk about it, to just vanish.
What the fuck? Anyway,
Try your best to find it. Maybe Spotify is better. Fucking probably. I'm not going to speak to me. Who knows? Maybe it's not. But anyway, let's get back to it. This is 1981's Juju. Oh, wait. We
didn't space it.
didn't space it. We didn't.
That doesn't fucking matter. It's
Did it work? No.
still missing.
Still missing.
Okay.
1981's Juju.
So yeah, I feel appropriate. Like this was the first song I heard because it was like I listened to the beginning of this album.
Oh yeah.
From the cradle bars comes a beckoning voice that sends spinning. You have no choice.
Tambourine,
Yep.
acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big, giant English acoustic guitars.
I didn't know anything that sounded like this when I heard it in high school.
Yeah.
Notice it's still playing a tom.
She is, but it sounds better. Do a little tss.
Also, listening to all their albums like this, like the drums sound crazy on this album.
They sound great. Budgie rules.
Like really unique. I kind of want to get to that like tom fill he does. I don't know if we'll get to it though. No, we're not going to get it. Oh, but the way the song ends, like
Yeah. God, this one rules.
best personal favorite.
Best personal favorite. This is an incredible album, man. I was delighted, but this perked me right the fuck up, dude.
Oh, dude, this is a phenomenal album. I'm glad I'm glad you're discovered, but like sometimes I listen to shit. I'm like, I'm upset no one showed this to me, and this has been in my life for a while. So
Yeah, I going completely blind. every album could be the best or the worst. You have, I have no idea where I'm going. And then this comes on, and that opener is like, all right, that's a pretty good song. And then Into the Light comes on, and it's like one of their best songs, one of my favorite songs from them, and one of my favorite new songs that I've heard in a long time.
Dude, that song's so crazy because I thought it was synth. Like,
yeah, I can't tell what it is. Is it a guitar? It sounds like a synth.
It's a guitar, but yeah. So I like the way the interplay is with like the drums and the guitar, because sometimes it's hard for those instruments to like sync up or like link up the way like a bass and a drum does, but they do it on here. So he uses this device called a gizmo.
A gizmo.
Yeah. And that's what gives it that sound.
A fuck's a gizmo?
If you go to the Wikipedia, for the album, they talk about it.
I'm going to do that right now.
Because that's quicker than looking up a gizmo.
The gizmo. Gizmotron. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? I don't know if I've seen that. I thought it was something. I thought I was thinking of something else that you hover.
It's kind of it's pretty obscure.
Because I've seen other devices where you hover them on the strings and it does this crazy thing. It's similar, but it's not. I don't think it's the same thing at all. That's a very interesting little device there. But it's a wonderful song. The really good vocal lines that complement the riffs. And it's just gorgeous, beautiful. It only gets better as it goes on. Incredible arpeggiated guitar lines. The guitar lines on that song are all over the place. They're really complex, really gorgeous. Incredible fucking song. And then Arabian Nights comes on, and god damn, it feels so good right when it comes in.
Yeah, that's one of my all-time favorites right there. I think a lot of people's. Dark, moody, again, really, really creative guitar playing. Again, like night and day, like Magooch is this on a on a different level.
And such dynamic drum choices. If you just do a whole listen, just paying only attention to the drums, it's really smart choices, really interesting, creative stuff. And
I can't think of another album where the drums sound this way. Like when I hear Spellbound and he does that tom fill, or like, yeah, the drums on here, they were just able to produce it and have his drums sound really unique to him.
Yeah.
And it's not like something we hear on the next album. It's like just here.
I think it sounds absolutely wonderful. Halloween brings back some of that clanginess of the early days.
Surprisingly, like up tempo, gets me amped. Yep. Surprisingly, like almost like noisy guitar riffs on there too.
Yeah, it kind of alternates between these noisy guitar stuff and these clean arpeggios that come in on the verse. It's a nice blending of the original post-punk style with this cleaner gothy one. But it's a great pacer track that still manages to have a strong personality, which is I mean it's kind of rare.
Yeah, and the song I was most excited to talk to you about is Monitor.
Incredible. Oh, just fucking rules.
Because I feel like they also invented like alternative rock with that song.
Yep.
And like the playing, maybe it's not complex, but I don't even really, as someone who doesn't play guitar, I don't even really know how to go about describing it.
That opening riff is the most 90s sounding guitar riff ever, which is already super ahead of its time.
It's 9 years ahead of its time.
Exactly. But it's this crazy 90s indie rock riff. But then the bass and drums come in, it goes from this what we can now register as a 90s riff and turns it into this dancey, bitter, mean thing. The bass line changes it completely. It goes in a completely different direction. The drums take it in a completely different direction. It sets you up for something and then completely shifts it into something even better. It's fucking incredible. Some really cool, fun siren vocals too, that she does periodically. And one overall thing about this album that I love so much that was missing on the previous one, on the last album, Siouxsie was pretty much one mode, playing it kind of safe the whole time. She was just singing straight. Here she's back to doing some weird stuff, going wild. There are moments here where she goes real fucking wild and it sounds great.
Yeah. Also, the band said this was like the first time they made like a conceited effort to be dark, where maybe in the previous episodes albums, not episodes. There were like dark songs or dark, but this was like every song is going to be like rooted in this very dark feel.
And boy, does it fucking feel great.
I think Night Shift's like a top 5 Siouxsie song for me.
Budgie carries so much weight, and it's not that the song isn't good on its own. It's already good, but just that main drum line, it
reminds me of God, I feel stupid. Like that Slayer song where it's this all ride cymbal, and in premise it's so
Criminally Insane.
It reminds me of Criminally Insane, where it's like it's all ride, and in hindsight it seems so simple.
Yeah,
but it sounds so fucking cool.
Yeah, sometimes you need to be simple.
Yeah.
Guitar and bass on that track are insanely gothy and dreary, and the chorus is a little bit more anthemic, but it's solid stuff. I like it a lot. And then Sit in My Heart. Really, this is like the first true goth album. Mm-hmm. Maybe the album in the world. I mean, I'm just saying for this discography. But yeah, it's got this really nice driving tom beat, nice guitar lines over this dark bass line. It sticks to one mode the whole way through, but it's a good mode. Yeah,
I think it's one of those songs where I like the glass breaking in the early part, and then it's pretty steady, but the tempo like revs up the closer you get to the end.
Some of Siouxsie's best performances ever are on Head Cut.
Oh man, there's less electronics on here, but I do like how Head Cut manages to incorporate what sounds electronic. I don't know. It's
like a really fuzzy bass.
Yeah. But it manages to incorporate that while still being rooted in the darkness.
It's so fucking cool. And the percussion on that track, it's so damn busy and interesting. But yeah, like her performances are so fucking. We don't really hear her scream that often, like full screams. She does on that track. But the guitar lines are consistently interesting. It's just such a fascinating, cool song. One of the best on the album. The closer is a doozy.
I feel like that's her most, like, that's a good showcase for things she does, because I feel like we have like her big bravos, like operatic, like the Siouxsie stuff, but here you get like some subdued stuff, which seems pretty rare actually, well, at this point. And it's this very like dizzying, paranoid sounding guitar playing. Like this really is like a game changer album. Like my head would have exploded hearing this in 81.
It's pretty fucking nuts, man. I mean, it has it's very vocal centric, but it has this Eastern influence on the drum choices. It's kind of tribal when it has like the tambourine, like you're saying, tambourine with like a ton of reverb on it, with a really unsettled bass line. But I mean, the speed and intensity builds up as it goes on. There's like, it's a brutal song. It's not brutal in the way that we know brutal with like extreme metal, but it's still like a brutal feeling song. There's not a lot of melody on there. It's more primal than that. It's a good closer. It's more interesting than like enjoyable than the rest of the songs. The rest of the songs have a lot of melody, a lot of hooks. That's just more guttural.
That one's probably the closest to something on the screen.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
but
the rest have so much melody.
Yeah,
it's fucking so. I mean, it's super consistent. I mean, it's insanely consistent.
Because I know like Hong Kong Garden is catchy, and maybe even Happy House. Well, whatever. Maybe Happy House is maybe it's just like upbeat and happy. But yeah, these are like real earworms on this album. I feel like
incredible hooks, incredible writing. It's perfectly done. It really is. Going to be on rotation for a long while. I mean, this is I fucking love it. It's so goddamn good.
This is like one of the few landmark albums that deserves everything positive that's ever been said about it.
And I'm so glad I read nothing. I didn't do any research. I just fucking put them all in order and listened to them and like, oh, hello there. Yeah. God damn.
I think this was like the first album I bought from them. It's like, if you're like to Metallica and you get like one of their first 4 albums, 5, whatever.
Yeah. This is a game changer for sure. a step forward in so many ways, but most of all, songwriting. And that's where my heart is stolen. My heart is yours. What do the critics have to say about this?
I don't want to fucking know.
Man. So this is from Smash Hits from 81. Oh Lord. It says
also, this to be clear and this is a 5 out of.
They give it a 5 out of 10. So in other words, they're mentally retarded. And it goes on to say, to be honest, Siouxsie and company have never been my idea of a Saturday night out. Since John Magooch and Budgie joined, things do seem to have changed for the better, but things contained here are much the same as ever, with the hammer horror lyrics recited by Smiling Sue in her familiar High Priestess wail. If only they would realize how much more impressive they sound when they imprint their distinctive style on lighter pop songs rather than the heavier album material. Take a tip off one who knows and stick to the singles. Hey, buddy, you want to take a tip from someone who knows? Stick to the pop stuff, buddy. Stick to the singles.
Holy shit.
Talk about the worst age reviews I've ever seen.
Holy shit. I can't wait for 30, 40 years from now when someone digs up my...
Oh my God. That's
embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you, Jeffrey.
I think that's pretty... Jeffrey Dean, I think, wrote that. That's
but
pretty
also,
fucking embarrassing.
Has contributions by Michael Isaac, and Tom is confused who actually wrote.
We don't know who wrote it. It's either Michael Isaac or Jeffrey Dean. Either way,
or both. Either
way, it stinks, and it's hilariously short-sighted, I would say.
Man,
stick to the pop stuff. Stick to the hits. Stick to the singles. That's fucking the worst advice I've ever heard.
Holy shit!
It's the worst advice for art I've ever heard. Holy shit!
Imagine writing a review this wrong,
God damn.
I will say, sometimes when I can't sleep, I'll watch old episodes of Siskel and Ebert.
Oh, really?
And it's fucking, sometimes they're really wrong, but they just have, a charm about them.
Yeah.
And I think, when they're, right, they're really... really on it.
Yeah.
And I think because there's 2 of them, it's never really that offensive, what we just read. So oh man, Ebert's review of Blue Velvet is so fucking funny.
It's not first of all, it's not a traditionally good movie.
Blue
traditionally.
Oh, sure.
It's traditionally good.
Sure. But yeah, it's this those guys are entertaining madmen where I'll allow them to be wrong. But yeah.
That's the thing with people. I mean, guess we put us in that camp. It's it's always way more okay when you believe the person or when they're just passionate. When someone is listen, take my advice, band.
No,
I'm the guy writing about it and not making it. It's just fucking interesting.
And I've said that a few times when I've trashed things what the fuck do I you're the one who made an album. You're the one on the road recording.
Yeah. Also we all have tastes. You don't have to like everything. I just what I like. You don't have to fucking listen. Don't buy it, please.
I think you hit the nail on the head there where he's take it from me. Who the fuck are you?
We don't even know who wrote the fucking review. That's how much we can't take it from you. Oh man. But it's also a little humbling of no matter how good you are, remember that the world is always going to be the world.
You're always going to have haters.
Yeah, it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, you can make basically a masterpiece like this album, and it doesn't matter. We're going to get dummies.
I'm really glad Tom found that. That was an entertaining thing to.
Jesus Christ, I know. But both of our best and personal favorites, and if check Apple, it's probably. I don't know if it's back up. I mean, hopefully it's back by the time this is up, but it's fucking gone right now. And seek it out, buy it. So these fucking
you own it.
Oligarchs can't take away our fucking art whenever they feel like it, whenever they lose licensing. Just buy your stuff.
Never stopped.
He never stopped. Your boy right here stopped.
Stop. Gen Z's discovering, dude. This is long enough, but whatever. I went to the thrift store the other day. There were some kids just fucking nerding out this looking at all the deep, like, oh shit, you can get this, you can get that. I was like, yeah, dudes.
Physical stuff was pretty sick, and that was my favorite thing about the old Amoeba location was going to the movie section.
Oh,
because it felt like a different store. It was upstairs.
Yeah. I miss Tower. I miss Best Buy and Tart. Even those big box stores. Like they don't have this shit anymore. And if they do, it's a small fucking section. You can't get lost in it.
Yeah, it was the adult equivalent of a toy store for a good while. And now all we got is regular toy stores, so we got to go back.
Independent toy stores.
Yeah. But we got one more left for this era. Are you ready?
Yes.
Hell yes. This is 1982's A Kiss in the Dreamhouse.
So decided no synths on this album.
Yep, it was a conscious effort. No synths, were all strings.
They had done a single Fireworks,
Good
which
song.
kind of dictate where this album was going to go.
This song excited me so much.
It's crazy how different her vocals sound too.
Different approach. She's a lot more breathy. I think this is one of their fucking best songs. I think it's incredible.
I agree.
Yeah. If you thought the fucking last album was gothy, holy shit. You know that sound, people.
Also, we were like so enamored by the guitar playing and the drumming and the vocals. Like Severin is like phenomenal bass line.
Yeah.
Also, the production, you could tell they had a lot more
Resources.
Yeah.
Oh, gorgeous. Such beautiful guitar lines that complement those bass lines so nicely. This is, I think it's a very good album, but obviously it's not the last album.
Yeah, this is like another one I hadn't heard in a very long time, and it's awkward. I think it's awkward, but there's a lot of charm, and I just like when they say they're going to use strings on here, whenever you hear like violins or something else, like they really make sure it fucking shines.
And it sounds incredible.
Even if the rest of the song is like once those strings come in, you're like, wait, is that even a bad song?
And that's my problem is that it's not enough. I want more. I'm dying for more. And it's ultimately feels like a bit clumsy. Like I think the pacing here is off. Even though the only song I don't like on the whole album, I like every song except for Green Fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And that's track 2.
Yeah.
And it fucking halts the pacing to, a screeching
That's one of your
halt.
pet peeves.
Exactly. When you have a killer opener, you want that momentum. You need that momentum. Mm-hmm. And when it comes in with like a legitimately weak, it's like a fine song, but a legitimately weak follow up to one of their best songs ever.
Yeah, it's also crazy where apparently this is an album where there was a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol going on. It's kind of crazy. They pulled this out. Also, they had fired their manager who had an unhealthy obsession about Siouxsie and Bugsy dating.
Oh, because they did start dating. I don't know when they started dating.
I mean, they're like together.
I don't remember when it happened, but
there's only a year between albums.
Yeah. So obsession, how?
That's all it said. Like he was probably just fucking weird about it. He probably like had a crush on her, right?
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's uncomfortable.
Yeah. And yeah, it's this like this is a grower. It's not as like fulfilling as Juju, but man, it's still so interesting and fascinating to me.
The stuff that lands is really fucking great. Like Obsession is, I think, conceptually and execution wise done very well.
Mm-hmm. I also like it's like more slow and plotting, where Green Fingers was like more bombastic.
Yeah.
They kind of just threw the whole kitchen sink at Green Fingers. There's kind of just, I don't want to say there's random instruments going on, but it does sound a little bit like they had this song and then this, we could do like an overdub here, like an overdub there.
Interesting. Yeah, it just found just the writing to be kind of forgettable. It's a little bit lighter. It's one of the few light things on here, but it's also odd where if you're going to follow a super gothy, dark and sad opener that rules with something light, that light has to be fucking really memorable. And it feels like it's just an average, okay song.
Preferably Into the Light.
Yes, preferably Into the Light. But on Obsession, those vocals are like right up in your ear, which contributes to the whole stalkery nature of the lyrics.
Yeah.
Lots of atmospheric soundscapes, bells. There's like what sound like footsteps almost. There's a lot of heavy breathing. And then the fucking strings come in. It's beautiful. Great song.
She's a carnival. I was like, is there going to be circus music on here? And disappointingly, only at the end.
Only at the end. Carnival organs come in at the very end, isolated by themselves. Sure, I love those 100%. But it's a higher energy. It's a fun song. I think that would have been a better track too than Fingers.
Dude, the drum play. Bugshy's a maniac.
Incredible toms. Incredible.
And like he's just going like. He should play in Death Grips or something.
No. I know. An odd one is Circle that I really quite like. It
is very odd. It's the drums sound industrial almost. There's this looped repetitive string section.
I keep writing synth line, but there's no synths on here. There's strings.
Yeah. It's almost because they do like, I think that's like the cheat is they did use like tape loop.
Okay. Yeah. That makes more sense.
But yeah, it's,
there's also keyboard on Circle.
Okay.
So there is some stuff there, but
yeah, it's almost maddening, like how repetitive it is.
Exactly. Yeah.
But not in an obnoxious way.
It feels extra paranoid and claustrophobic the way it's like, I don't want to say obnoxiously, but it's like sadistically repetitive where it feels like it's part of the experience. Like it doesn't feel like when songs get repetitive, you feel like, oh, they just didn't know when to end it and now I'm bored. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like part of it being overbearing is the charm of it. But the thing is, even though the drums and synths are super duper repetitive, everything else unravels very slowly. So there's like a gradual buildup, and then there's these bright, probably string lines, synth lines, key lines, whatever the fuck, at the very end that kind of liven things up quite a bit. It's a great song. And then Alex's favorite, gondola guitars on Melt.
You know, but to be fair, it perked my ears up.
Yep.
But I'm like, I need to see where this goes.
Yep.
Sure enough, the rest of the song delivered.
Oh yeah, it's a good song. It's a great song.
Probably like my second
favorite song.
Yeah,
on
up there
100%.
with, it's. Oh man, what else do I like on there? Dude, the choir vocals at the end.
Oh yeah, I'm thinking of I'm thinking of around 158. These fucking textures that pop in, and it just feels so good. It's not like it's kind of like the same. It's not like a huge shift in the song. It's just a production. It's a mixing choice that comes in at that moment that it just feels really satisfying.
You know what it could be with Melt as well, where I feel like maybe the focus of the guitar is not as like it's not so much about the guitars the way the last album was, because we have these like big string sections. And that one is a like very guitar focused song. So
yeah, it feels
that's
great.
part of it.
Yeah. And it opens up side 2, which obviously in streaming it doesn't matter as much, but I could see that would be a wonderful opening to side 2. Painted Bird brings in some real 80s ass energy.
Dude, bookends with the most 80s sounding shit I've ever heard. Eventually settles down into a normal Siouxsie song. It's one of the weaker points for me.
It's nothing spectacular one way or the other. It's sort of fine. And then one of the more novel tracks in the entire discography that we're covering here, Cocoon, where it's some jazzy shit.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, because it doesn't do anything innovative. It's not too memorable.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's just something different makes it feel good.
Yeah,
but,
exactly that.
But like you said, it's a novelty song at the end of the day.
That's a perfect example of how I feel about this album, where like I don't dislike these songs, but they don't feel like you're comparing them to songwriting marvels like Cascade and Melt. Like,
Yeah.
It's not a bad song, but compared to that, it is.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's so crazy how bands work where they had to like crank out an album every year. It's interesting to think like what could have been if they had more time.
Yeah, that's interesting. Also, the closer Slow Dive birthed the band Slow Dive, basically.
Also, I'm so confused why they like, I like it. It's a fine song. I kind of thought it was going to be a disco song.
Yeah, in a way.
It still has elements of that, the way they use like the string sections. But yeah, if I was in Slow Dive, I would have been like, no, we have to call ourselves Cascade. But there's also a dish soap called Cascade.
And that can cause problems, as the band Kleenex / Lilliput learned the hard way. But Slow Dive is an interesting one because it has these big, giant reverby snares and crazy strings. And the driving 4/4, which is, I mean, uncommon with this band. We don't get any straight 4/4s, and it's
not since the Scream days.
Even then, it wasn't like a straight 1/2 because the dude only played the toms. So here, it kind of gives it this air of new wave, which is oddly one of their most 80s sounding songs, but also super hypnotic and really kind of cool. It's structurally super basic, but there's something alluring about it that I kind of like more and more every time I hear it. It's a completely different kind of song. It's not like the most hooky thing ever. It's not the most catchy thing ever, but there's something. So it doesn't sound like the song I'm going to reference, but it activates the same kind of like, I'm here for however long you want to play it. Hamburger Train by Primus, where it's like, it's a straight 4/4. It's doing one thing. Yeah. It's not playing anything that hooky, but I just like it.
Yeah. They do know how. Also, good on us for not using the word hypnotic until right now.
Yeah,
because they are a very hypnotic band. A lot of these songs we covered, we have not used that word, but
yeah, but that one I think deserves it. It's quite interesting hearing them go in that direction. And seeing I didn't have to look it up to know that the band Slow Dive got the name from that song. So when I'm about to listen to it, I am not expecting 4/4 fucking driving new wavy at all.
No, not at all. I would think this is something dark and shoegazy, but
yep, but not quite. But yeah, I would call this album another step forward, but a more flawed album. Like, it's still moving in a more adventurous direction, but it's just not executed as well as this Juju.
Yeah, it's flawed, but it's fascinating to me. So that's why I didn't give it a bad accolade. I
just enjoy it too much. There's too many good songs on here. Even though I think the pacing is quite flawed, but the string stuff, like, man, I don't know anything about this album. I don't know what's going to happen in part 2. I really hope the strings get more, because I mean, they sound great here, but it's just not enough.
You ever heard Cities and Dust?
I don't know.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh boy. If I have, I don't know it by name.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a good album. Flawed, but good. And that's it for this part. What happened after this? We lose Magooch.
Oh.
And we get Robert Smith.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
He was their touring guitarist, like off and on for years. And when they got John Magooch, he obviously stopped. Yeah, like he replaced John McKay for the tours. That's what happened. As like a favor or whatever. And now he's back, and we'll be back with part 2 in a few weeks.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Yeah. This is, I'm so glad to finally have listened to this fucking band.
They're fucking amazing. I wish I had more friends who were into them growing up, but whatever.
The people I knew who were in this band growing up, I didn't want to be seen talking to them because they had lots of makeup on.
That makes sense. Did they look like a Kiss in the Dreamhouse cover?
More or less.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people who are really into it, man, they don't fuck around.
Fucking beautiful, unique, innovative bad.
Very, very cool stuff. Let's do a little recap. Our infuriating recaps.
Worst, least favorite, The Scream. Best personal favorite, Juju.
And for me, worst, least favorite, Kaleidoscope. And best personal favorite, Juju. God damn. It's been fun.
It's been real fun.
So thank you so much for listening and watching and hanging out. If you like us, hang out further, like the video, just leave a comment, tell us why we're fucking idiots, whatever. Subscribe, do that. You can follow me on all social media at Panda Monkey and Alex on Instagram at
Every Album Alex.
Please be sure to follow our history guy, Tom Osman, at Tom Osman Sounds on all social media, as well as TomOsmanSounds.com for all his music and TomOsman.substack.com for his podcast, whatever comes next, where he interviews a bunch of cool musicians. And he also writes about music and he gets a bunch of info for us and gets interviews for us and all that good stuff. Support him. Cool. Check out my EP, Panda Monkey. Link to that in the description. Cool. And last but not least, oh baby, patreon.com/everyalbumever. That's where you go. You get a bunch of bonus episodes. We're consistent with bonus episodes now, baby. We ain't fucking around. We're doing the bonus episodes.
You can have a direct impact on the podcast, like the people who voted on this poll.
You can vote on polls. The reason we're doing this damn episode, I'm sure we'd have gotten to it at some point, but polls made it happen quicker. You can vote on polls to decide who we're covering next. You can join our Discord to be a part of our community. And that's also where you can suggest EAE singles episodes. So if a new album has come out this year and you want to hear us talk about it, throw it on there. And if you're tier 2, you can suggest a full discography for us to cover on a bigger, longer numbered episode. And in addition to that, you can suggest any album from any discography for us to cover on bonus episodes, Patreon bonus episodes. So go there, do that. There's lots to do. Thank you. Now, we wrapping it. What we wrapping it with?
You know, sometimes I try to go with something a little more off the beaten path, but I don't care. It's gotta be Night Shift.
Right on, baby. Hell yeah. So thank you so much for listening and watching. See ya.